I'm assuming negligible is bad.
Yeah, will not happen.
Okay, will not happen unless societies become more centralized.
All right, so what does that mean?
I don't know.
No, great. Let's call on a friend. Ronley, what does it say? She's like, oh no, not me.
You guys keep getting me real good today. It will be negligible unless societies become more centralized. That all factors contributing to the production of food can be better coordinated. I guess it's saying increases in production won't matter unless societies all factors contributed to the production of food can be better. Oh, okay. Unless societies like somehow like streamline how everything can be better coordinated with food, with the production of food.
Right. So this, I kind of misguided you on negligible. Negligible kind of means like minimum.
Yeah, not a lot.
Not a lot. Yeah. So the increases in food production will be like minor unless this happens. So if the increases are negligible, what do we know? Let's go with Ashley. What do we know? If they are negligible. Negligible. Thank you.
Saying if they are, then
yes,
the food will be better coordinated. The production of it will be better.
I think that no, if they're negligible, that means we're not better coordinated. Like if they're minor, that means we're not coordinated.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
So if we are coordinated, what does that mean?
Enable food production.
Yeah, sorry. Now I'm confusing myself. However, increase in food will be negligible unless societies become more centralized. Okay.
Can I say what I think? Because I don't know if it's right, but
I don't think
is that okay?
Yeah, go for it.
I think it's saying that unless people are centralized, like more closely together, then the food production is going to be minimal. It's not the increases in the food production is not going to be very much unless people are closer together.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. See, this is actually what I just did is exactly why I don't diagram very much on the test, is because I think it's easier to translate just like Heather did rather than try to diagram it because we confuse ourselves in our diagrams. So, however, increases in food production will be negligible unless societies become more centralized. So if we become centralized, it will not be negligible, right? I'm doing that correct, right, Katie?
Yeah, I would say that unless societies are more centralized, then, so if not centralized, then negligible. If not negligible, then centralized.
So not negligible. So if they're not, so if they are, if they are negligible, ignore this for a second. If they are negligible, then if
wouldn't it be, I didn't know you were diagramming. Wouldn't it be, so C, let's see, societies become more centralized. So C for, or SC for society centralized, and then arrow not N?
They will be, if they're negligible, that means there was not centralized. Right. If they are centralized, that means they're not. This is what I had the first time. So just ignore me for a second. I do this.
It's also hard because negligible is like a negative word. So it's almost like you're negating
a negative word. Yeah. When you're trying to teach and diagram, I'm sorry, that's my own fault. Like, okay. So this is our diagram here. But what Heather said is phenomenal. She said, hey, food production is going to be minor unless we can figure out how to be centralized. That's really all we needed to know from the second sentence. All right, Jasmine, can you do the third sentence? Can you read it for us? Oh, you're on mute.
My bad. So historically, the more centralized the society was, the greater the percentage of its people who perished if and when it collapsed. So historically, the more centralized a society is, the greater percentage of its people perish if and when it collapses. Oh, the more centralized a society was, greater percentage of its people who perish if and when collapse. So the people perished and collapsed, the greater the percentage. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not even going to.
It's hard. Sumatra, what do you think?
Yeah. So like you diagrammed, the more
The more
people-
centralized.
mhm, the more the greater the percentage of collapse.
Yeah, so the more we were centralized, the more people that perished when the city collapsed.
Right.
And this isn't an official diagram. This is just me drawing a picture. This
Yeah.
I don't overly diagram. I'm a picture person. All right, so then Kamani, can you do the last sentence, please?
Yes, thus increasing the centralization of societies in an effort to increase food production via better technology will merely exacerbate the disasters associated with the societal collapse. So by increasing the centralization, when they're trying to increase food production with better technology, it will like alleviate the disasters like that are like with the societal collapse.
You said alleviate? What is exactly?
Well, make it worse. Make it worse.
Make it worse. Yeah.
Yeah,
Excellent. Excellent. So this, it actually is a conclusion, but it's a valid conclusion. It's saying, hey, if we increase the centralization to try to increase food production with the better technology, we're actually going to make the problems worse. Why? Let's think. This isn't what we have to do for this question, but let's think. It's almost like a paradox, right? Not this question is not, but it could be. Why might increasing the centralization actually make the problems worse, even though we're going to have more food? Can anybody think of a reason why?
More traffic?
Traffic?
Diseases spread faster.
Yeah, there we go. Disease spreads fast. Yeah, because essentially what we're having is more people. So even though we have more food, or if we can't get it, disease spreads faster, or we can't get it to certain people, or maybe there's more personalities and people don't get along, so there's more war. Who knows? But, and this isn't what we need for this, but that could be why, as we increase the centralization, even though we have more food to feed people, it actually is worse in the long run, is because more people are going to die. But this is a most strongly supported. So this is, we don't have to paradox it like we just did. This just means we have to stay between the lines. So based on what was said here, what also must be true or is supported above. So many people got this one correct. So our answer is B, but before we go over B, were there any other answer choices that we were debating?
Can we go over each answer choice? And like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. So A says the more centralized a society is, the greater its need for increased food production. So do we know anywhere in our stimulus that the more centralized something is, there's going to be a need for increased food production? We don't have any support for that. We don't really know what, other than the only thing that we know is that when it's something's more centralized, people are more likely to perish. C, the rate at which the world's population is growing will continue to increase indefinitely. Do we have any support that the world's population is going to continue to increase indefinitely?
No, I thought that one was too spicy.
Oh yeah, too spicy. Indefinitely. We have no support.
Thank you, Lisa.
Like this one, if we were using common sense, some of us might pick this one because we bring in, this is where we don't get to bring in outside information though. Just because we say this was true in real life, the population is going to continue to grow indefinitely. Cool, but we have to stay between the lines. And that's why this one's wrong. D, the production of food can be increased only by improved technology. Is this the only way that food production can be increased?
No.
No, it's just one way. Excellent. E, societies have become more centralized as technology has improved. Does technology improving cause centralization?
No.
No, it just causes increased food production. Right, B, not every problem associated with the collapse of a centralized society would be prevented by technology improvements. Why? So see, do you see how this is a little bit different than a must be true? Because this one isn't exactly stated, but it is very much supported, because if we increase technology, we're going to increase food, but that alone cannot solve people perishing, because if we increase the centralization, people are still going to die. So obviously increasing technology cannot solve every single issue out there. Do we all like B for that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
When you talk it out, it totally makes